Hi, and welcome to a short video on using the research databases at GRCC. If you're like me, you might think Google is the only search engine you need, but for this project I want you to try to use the databases at GRCC and one of them in particular. I also want to give you several tips on using that database well to search successfully. So for starters, to find that database, you need to go to GRCC's website. You can hover over current students, pull down to library. From there, your temptation may be to search right here. That is not the right place to look for database sources. This will search books, magazines, other things in our library. You want to click right here on databases. From here you'll see a list of databases. We actually have over 150 databases at GRCC, but the one you want is going to be the first one listed under the first option, Arts and Humanities. So if you go to Academic OneFile, this is a database with over 50 million sources. It's updated every day, and it's an incredible resource for researching pretty much any topic. And I want you all to start with this database. I have 5 suggestions today for how to do this successfully, because I know students sometimes get frustrated using these databases. First tip I'd give is to play around with words, to experiment with different phrases until you find sources on your topic. This can be the most challenging for some topics and the most frustrating step, but you might need to play around with lots of different versions and variations of your topic before you find sources that are relevant and interesting. The second tip is to check full text either before or after you search. Without doing that, you'll find lots of abstracts, which are just short summaries of articles. Those can be very helpful as well, but really what you're looking for is full text articles that you can open and read. The next tip is really at the heart of using these databases, and that's using your common sense and some careful scanning to evaluate which sources might be useful and which will not be. I can also gain a lot of clues simply by looking quickly at each of these listings until I find the ones that look relevant to me. Some will be too specialized based on the journal. Advances in Environmental Biology sounds too specialized. Some will be too short. This looks like a news story. That's just a few paragraphs long. Some might be dated, too old, although that's less of an issue with the databases. And others will just obviously not be what I'm looking for. So you need to use your common sense, but you may have to go through dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of articles to find the ones that really are useful to you. But they are out there if you search with the right keywords. The fourth tip is simply to keep track of good sources as you find them. There are a few ways you can do that. One is simply to check this box here as you find a source. If I know this looks good based on what I see here, I can keep it. Let's say this one looks interesting initially. If it looks good in here, then again, you can just check save this document right here. And when you're finished, all of your saved documents will be here. I can click view all. I can do something with these. I can print them, or probably more helpfully, I can download them to my computer or email them to myself. One thing you do not want to do is use this URL. That's something I often do with Google results and with websites. That URL will not do you any good with these sources. You need to email them or download them to yourself and not save that even, because it's very unlikely this URL will get you back to this article. One last suggestion for now is to let your research guide you to other sources. Sometimes finding one good source can lead you to others. First of all, you might learn the keywords that others are using, so community service, student service, volunteerism, service learning. But you also might use one good listing to find good subject lines. So here, for example, this doesn't always work, but here you have community services, educational aspects, and even if this source doesn't turn out to be a good one, I might use it to lead me to other better ones, and maybe I'll find good ones here. So that's it for now. I hope these 5 suggestions help you succeed as researchers using these databases. Let me know if you have any questions.